Today on the podcast, brought to you by the Michigan Retailers Association, we head up near Cadillac to the Meauwataka General Store. Pam, how are you today?
I'm great, Eric. Thank you. How are you?
I am fantastic. So let's talk Meauwataka General Store. So for people who may not be familiar with the store itself, can you kind of give some background about, its importance, how long it's been there, how long you guys have been involved and that sort of thing, and we'll kind of go from there.
So the Meauwataka General Store has been in existence for about 85 years. It's a small little store. And my husband wrote a little haiku about it. And it's a little store. I know. And the funny thing is, his name is Ken. So we call it a Ken-ku. It's a little store atop a hill in the forest. And that's exactly what it is. Tiny little store in the forest. So we purchased it in May last year. So we are going on about 18 months that we've owned this store. And we've done a lot of work and upgrades to the store in that time.
I feel like you're underselling that a little bit because, it was for sale for like maybe an 18 months before you guys purchased it. What was it about the general store that you saw the opportunity and wanted to kind of grab a hold of it? And then I want to talk about food. But first, what was it that kind of gravitated you towards purchasing the general store?
So it's kind of a funny story. My husband and I had a cabin that we built in Cadillac on 22 acres, the White Pine Trail, and we loved it up here. And we wanted to move up here full time because we lived at the bottom of the state of Michigan in Union. And so we knew our cabin wasn't big enough for us to live in permanently. And with the zoning restrictions, we couldn't add another home to the property. We had 22 acres, but we couldn't add another home. So we started looking. Because it was just a little smidge of land.
Yeah.
So we started looking, and we had been to the store accidentally about 4 years prior when we were just out driving one day, because my husband loves to drive around in the forest and, take in the scenery. And we stopped because we thought this is a neat little old general store, and it said smoked fish on their sign outside. And I love smoked fish. So we went in, met the owners, liked the store, left, and then we could never find it again because Meauwataka General Store is a very unusual name. So we couldn't remember the store name, and we had no idea where we were when we found it because we were in the forest. So 4 years later, when we were going to purchase property up here and move to the area, we were driving to the appointment to look at the farm we ended up purchasing. And we stopped at the four-way stop sign and we looked to the right. And my husband and I both said, "It's the store." And he said, "It's for sale." And I said, "We're not buying it." And he goes, "We're buying a farm." And he said, "But, our daughter and son-in-law wanted to move up to the area too." And I said, "No, I don't want them to feel pressured. That's a lot of work, a general store. We can't do that right now." So 2 months later, when they came up to help us move, my daughter called me and said, "Mom, there's this really cool store." And I said, "We're not buying it." And so she said, "But we want to come up, move up." So we bought it. So don't go looking for a farm because you might end up buying a general store is the moral of that story.
I hope that you sell T-shirts that say that. So,
we should.
One of the things that I was blown away by with what you guys are doing is the food that you're putting out, right? Like it started with smoked fish, right? They had smoked fish, but now you literally smoke all sorts of things. So, what was that evolution? And had Kevin had a wealth of experience and just wanted to bring that to the store? Or was it kind of, hey, what could we do here? Let's try smoking. Like, what was that? How did that happen?
When we first purchased the store, we thought, well, people do need to eat. And in the area where we're at, there's literally no other restaurant, store, anything for about 12 to 15 minutes in any direction. So if you're hungry, they did have takeout pizza, but it was frozen pizza that was cooked one pizza at a time, and it took 50 minutes. So they would add the toppings and things, but it was not sustainable. So if someone wanted to call and order two pizzas, basically it took almost 2 hours. So they made sandwiches, but that was it. So I said, let's try a couple days a week hot food to go to see if people like it. We'll just do 2 days a week. So we called them meal deals and we started with those. Well, those took off like crazy. So 2 weeks later, we said, okay, let's try 3 days a week. And those took off. And then we said, well, let's do Monday through Friday because people were calling us every day to say, what's for dinner today? What's for lunch today?
That's awesome.
So it went from 2 days a week to 7 days a week. And then we also revamped a lot of the store. I mean, we had to replace the walk-in cooler, the deli cooler, the ice cream freezer, the outside storage freezers, every piece of equipment you can imagine in our 5-year plan that was going to be replaced was basically replaced in a year. So I said, oh, so, and my husband, Ken, is really good at smoking meats. And in this area, a lot of folks like smoked meats. So we said, well, let's start smoking meats too and add that to our repertoire of dinners. So we started, and he makes the best ribs you've ever tasted. I'm not joking. And the funny thing is, he doesn't even really like barbecue that much. That's not his favorite, but it's my favorite. So I kept saying, let's just try it. Let's just try it. So it just evolved that way. I mean, people would call us every single day. So what is he smoking today? Or what are you guys cooking today? Or what pizza specials do you have today? So it was basically based on our customer requests. So that's kind of how it evolved. We didn't have the greatest business plan in that regards. It was just, okay, let's see where this takes us kind of thing.
So let's go back a couple more steps though. So Pam, did you and Ken like have retail? Like, did you have experience or what? Like going into this, how much did you know about running a general store? You know, obviously I don't know much about your background, but heading into this, how much did you guys know about running a general
yes.
store to build that 5-year plan?
Well, we have always had a business. But it was steel fabricating or a barbershop or a powder coating business. Nothing at all like a general store or food takeout. But
Sure.
my daughter, who is so important to the business, she was a manager and a bartender and server at a restaurant for 11 years. So she had a lot of that experience. I worked in the food service industry when I was young. I was a server, I helped cook, I did all of those things. We had, as I mentioned, a business. All our lives, we've had businesses. And recently, I was a manager in a healthcare setting for 11 years. So I had a lot of the training and experience, and my degree is in business management. So we had that type of background. We had just never really run a small general store. I did work in retail for a few years as a manager years ago. So it was like a mixture of all our experiences together, which made purchasing the general store possible. So between all of us, we had different specialties and strengths for the business, which was incredibly vital.
It's kind of like all coming together in sort of a magical way, you know, kind of even how you guys come upon the store at the last possible second to buy that farm. So we are obviously
Yes.
here with the MRA talking about businesses in and around Michigan that help provide a service to people around them like you guys do. But Pam, give me some context as to the importance of the Michigan Retailers Association to the Meauwataka General Store.
Yes. So I love the Michigan Retailers Association. They work really hard to help promote small businesses like ours and rural businesses, city businesses. It doesn't matter. They are just very devoted to supporting businesses in Michigan because it's tough to be a business and we need all the tools we can get. And they provide a variety of tools for their members. So, in addition to insurance and things like that, they have the support as far as networking opportunities. They also do contests for customers. And we were fortunate. We participated in the Buy Nearby campaign that was held in October. And one of our customers was selected and
Oh, that's
won.
awesome.
So we
That's
won
awesome.
too. So it was just so awesome to have that. I know. And people are like, wait a minute, you're a tiny little store in the middle of the forest. How did you guys win? And I said, that's the great that's the great thing about this association. They support all size businesses and they give you a lot of tools to help make your business successful. They have that interactive link on their website that shows you participating retailers. So we had customers that found us on their website, which is huge. I mean, that is a free benefit to members. So I'm very, very grateful to them. And they're always very gracious when they contact us and whenever we interact. So I'm a big fan.
Well, and I know, much like the Michigan Retailers Association, you guys are very passionate about supporting local. What sort of ways does that manifest itself in the store? Like, what sort of Michigan things can people find if they go to the Meauwataka General Store?
Oh, thank you for that question. So that's a passion of ours. We want to support our neighbors and other Michigan retailers and other small businesses. So we've worked really hard. We've brought in Brink's Family Creamery, which is a local dairy farm. They also own the Donut Den, so you can get donuts or dairy. We partnered with Fenner Farms Beef. So not only do we sell their beef in our store, but we use their beef in the dishes that we prepare because we cook from scratch. So we have been um, really grateful to work with them because they have incredibly high quality beef. So, and we've partnered with Owl Eye Coffee in Cadillac, and they roasted a blend for the store called the Meauwataka General Store Three Fires Coffee, which stands for the Indian tribes that used to use the Indian Trail, that were on the Indian Trail in Meauwataka. And we've just got lots of different underground cheesecake is in Traverse City. We called them for 5 months to say, please let us sell your cheesecake in our store. And they did. And now we've restocked it at least 12 times. It's delicious stuff. So we've tried to, and we've got honey, we've got syrups. There's a lot of different craft beers that we've brought in. And we have Ironfish Distillery liquors. So just lots and lots of local products, anything we can do to support local. We have a local embroidery company that does all our t-shirts and our hoodies and hats and things like that. So everything we possibly can do to source it in Michigan and locally if possible, we work really hard to do that. So, and we're proud of that and grateful. And on Small Business Saturday, we featured a lot of those vendors, and we had a great Small Business Saturday this year. So grateful to our customers for coming out and supporting us and our vendors.
And we love that. So Pam, we're obviously in the throes of the holiday season, but we're thinking a lot about next year. And so as you guys are going into, month 19, 20, 21, 22, heading into your 2-year anniversary, what does next year hold for you guys since you decided to take your 5-year plan and shove it into 12 months? What's on the other side of that 10-year plan?
So if you ask my husband, he would probably say, I don't even want to think about it because, we just charge forward so much. But we do have some plans that hopefully we can implement. One of them is we will be closing the store for a week, the first week of January, so we can do another facelift to the cosmetic portion of the store, like the floors. That was something we wanted to redo as soon as we bought the store, and we didn't have the opportunity. So we're going to redo the floors, re-merchandise some of our displays, try to make it so it's more cohesive because now it's a little hodgepodgey because it's a small space. And then we're hoping this summer, our big plan is what we're really trying to work towards is putting a pavilion out in front of the pole barn that's on the property. So for dining for our
Oh, wow.
customers,
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
we don't have eat-in dining and we never will have eat-in dining because we basically have 6 parking places. So we can't do that. But we want to have a nice covered awning, paved surface, and put our tables underneath because we do have picnic tables outdoors. But because we're in a forest on top of a hill, we've lost 4 umbrellas this year due to wind.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So hopefully if we have a permanent type structure, and then that would lead to next winter, we would be able to put like heaters out there for snowmobilers and
Oh
just
yeah.
make it a
Yeah.
more comfortable
Awesome.
gathering spot for families to come and, grab a bite to eat or have an ice cream cone or just kind of hang out for a little bit. So that's our plan this year. That's our big undertaking. Redo the
Awesome.
interior of the store and then hopefully add that pavilion.
It sounds super exciting for you guys, Pam. I am so happy to be able to spend a couple minutes talking to you. If people want to find, as you said, was hard to find originally. If people want to find the Meauwataka General Store, what is the easiest way for them to do that?
They have Facebook. We have a pretty active presence on Facebook. So it's under Meauwataka General Store. We don't have a website because we just haven't had the time to manage that as well as everything else in the store. They can call us direct. My daughter and son-in-law are great at, my son-in-law is really good at fishing and things like that. So if they have questions, he's usually helpful in that regard. So they can just call us to look up Meauwataka General Store or give us a call and or shoot us an email. And we try to get back to folks as quickly as we can. But and as I mentioned, my daughter's a really great bartender. She's helped folks with pairings for different meals, what would be great to serve, things like that. So we do try to offer a lot of services as well as just have the store or feed people. So either way, call us, go on Facebook, and we'll get back to them.
Pam, thank you so much for the time. Have a wonderful holiday season, and we will see you next year.
Okay, thank you, Eric. Thank you for speaking with me this morning. I appreciate it. It was great to chat.